Hi, everybody. I'm Callie B Elwayns with Bold and Visible, and I'm here today with Tracy Tritle, my incredible friend, deep colleague, and client from the Bold and Visible community. Tracy, welcome. So good to be with you.
Good morning, Callie. So wonderful to be here.
Yeah, we're kind of at this interesting pinnacle in our journey and in what you're creating in your world. I can't wait to talk to you about it. Everybody, Tracy has a workshop coming up called Unleash Your Legacy. It's built for women who are ready to bust through and break through the bonds of their corporate life. They're successful, yet limiting corporate life. And this is for women who are really creative and curious, but have been feeling really, really stuck inside of a system that we know is kind of coming toward an end. And Tracy has a beautiful way. And I've been starting to think, Tracy, I think of you as having this rebel wisdom.
Yes, I've that's in my copy and it's in a lot of the words now. And there's this moment of that is me. That is me. And so there's a coming together of how the outward me and the inward me are really meshing, and it's beautiful.
Awesome. And I can't wait to talk to you
Mhm.
also about how we are
Mhm.
helping you design, craft, lift up your program and your sites and all the work and bring your body of work into reality. Because it's such a pleasure to see you come over the threshold. And really, we see that rebel wisdom in your story.
Mhm. Yes, the story. I can't wait to talk to you about that and share that the story of the story from last summer. The story was a complete transformation for me, and coming through that process within the Bold and Visible community, having a group of women who were also doing the same thing. It's beautiful, deep work, and to be upheld by the Bold and Visible program through crafting a script, something that seems so simple and is a profound catalyst for major change in my life.
Awesome. I love it. Okay. So today we're going to talk about your upcoming workshop. We'll talk a little bit about the stage and your story and what that was like for you as you came off the stage November of last year. It seems like yesterday.
Yeah, it does.
And I'd like to start though. Would you mind sharing with us what was your life like, Tracy, before you came into the Bold and Visible program?
I was doing some really big things and had a deep amount of success. I had changed my life completely in the 2 years prior to coming to the program, and was in this place of what now? How do I move into the next phase, and what is that? And that last 5% for me was really stuck. It was really, it was something that I was crashing into over and over on my own. And so coming into the Bold and Visible program, the one way I would describe it is it was a relief, because I felt like I was in a place now where I could really move through it with not just by myself, because I think there's a certain amount of work we can do with and for ourselves solo. And then the next stage, the next gen is doing it in concert with other women or other a community of people. And so my last 5% really was hiding behind my success
Right.
and being very, very um, had a lot of fear around being seen. So I was deeply sabotaging myself over and over and over again, but yet was so frustrated with it. And so I was able within the VIP program to really come through that, identify it, move through the, for me, somatics are life changing.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really what was the difference. It really was the difference and continues to be the difference for me, in being able to be graceful with the old patterns, let them go, acknowledge them, and then move forward into new space that for a lot of people is very terrifying to be in that open field.
I love how you said that, because I was going to ask you what was different for you, because I know that, like, so myself and all the other women in our group, you're an extremely highly successful woman who's done all the personal and spiritual growth, and you've taken all the, the pathways we've taken to succeed. And yet there's this piece, and you mentioned the somatic aspect, and we call that the feminine somatic integration method. And it's this place of dropping into comfortable in your own skin and safety around that big risk you're about to take. So I'd like you to share, because, the women in our work, right, are women of stature, ready to do a bigger thing. And of course, we're stuck at all the work we've done. So you're ready to take a much bigger risk. And your story was alluding to that. I can't wait to talk about that big risk, because you're about to step into it in a much larger way. Share with us how your story helped you land in a new level of confidence, getting on stage at our TED style stage.
I think confidence is a key word there, Callie, because what I noted over and over, and I still see it within my creation process, is the confidence in myself and what I'm building, that it is. We have all those words like we've got our imposter syndrome, and will it be enough? And how will it be different from what everybody else is doing in the world? And I did a thing that was incredibly different. And I didn't want that to be the core. I couldn't see how that could be the core of what I'm here to do. But it really is. When I went through the process of creating the script with Callie, there were 3 different stories I tried to use before we landed in the one that is absolutely supposed to be the story. And once I stepped into that and we created that and I really embodied it, I realized that everything is connected. Everything I've done in my life has been like that. It's been very bold. It's been jump into the deep water and go live in Europe for a year or for a month by myself, solo with no plan. That those types of experiences are what I've always sought and what I thrive in. That's what the story gave me, because it gave me a greater sense of myself and gave me the opportunity to really connect with who I am.
We saw who you were on stage. Tracy, just the journey of watching you come through, how we all do, with our somatic story, our habit patterns in our body, our voice, and then on stage, you were just so profoundly you, with all your jazz and all your your fun and your power. And can you share how your story then had led you? So now you're in a mastery program, a business mastery program, where we take your story and we support you with a very specific structure to now really build in and hone your body of work and how you come out into the world. And we lift up a pilot program. Share how your story actually was the center of that. Can you share that with our women?
I would love to. And I think if I can say one more thing about the stage and the experience of coming together, I knew women for 9 months virtually before, and very, very intimately through the Bold and Visible program, connection on several different levels. And when we came together in Calgary, we were there together for a week before we went to the stage. And that week, there was just as much change because of the care and the expertise of the Bold and Visible staff, Callie and Ethan and Kirsten, through the coaching and the continued pushing and pulling into the the bigness of our stories, that when we arrived on Monday or Tuesday versus where we were at on Saturday, we moved just as much into a leap forward as we had in the last months. It was one of the most exponentially life-changing experiences I've ever had. So that in and of itself is one of the greatest. Callie talks about white glove service, and it is one of the most beautiful modelings of being cared for and walked through to our fullest selves in that short amount of time. So I really did want to take that forward because Calgary and the stage changed all of us. And it's we're all different now. So moving into your question about the mastery program and what that experience has been like. So I have a 7-minute talk, 7.5 minute talk that I did in Calgary on the stage. And the process of the mastery program has been beautiful because it's taken that and changed it into a 2-hour workshop. And the transformation has come through step-by-step guidance of let's do this first, and we identify all of these things, and then let's take all the pain points and let's overlay them onto each piece. And there's this layering of classwork, but it's very individual work too, where we're each folding in our own experiences and our own uh, how do I want to say this? Our own emotions into what we're building in our body of work that we're taking out into the world, which makes it us. So we've taken that story and expanded it into this 7.5 minute piece into 2 hours in this beautiful uh, delivery and gift to other women who would like to have a different experience going forward.
Beautiful. And I love that because right now we're in the step of the workshop and bringing women in, and then we're going through building your pilot program, lifting your pilot program up. Can you share a little bit, because this is a whole end to end, like this is what's so exciting for us, right?
Mm-hmm.
Taking women from your story into having your fully developed and delivered pilot program with testimonials and all of the beautiful landing pages that we're doing for you. Can you talk a little bit about that and maybe a little bit about the support in the background? Because this is unprecedented. We have not seen this. Our team has been involved and paid hundreds of thousands of dollars for things on the planet. But we're not just doing this. We're activating something very special in each individual, but we're also tactically doing hands-on stuff. Can you share that?
So the tactical is there's something every day that we're learning, and that Callie is really modeling and sharing a different, very, for lack of a better word, a very feminine approach to inclusivity and the utilizing collective energy in order to boost everyone forward. So the tactical includes I spent a couple of hours yesterday sending amazing copy that came onto my landing page. My landing page is a beautiful conglomeration of the experience on the stage and all of the professional photography that was provided as part of that program and the videography. And it's been pulled into a landing page, excuse me, for each of us in the mastery program. And that landing page has copy that we have the basic words, and then we get this copy back from the team and from Callie. It's like being seen in a way we don't even see ourselves sometimes. And it's so different than any other. It's not a PR agency. It's not a marketing branding thing. It's so organic and so intuitively plugged into who we are individually. When I'm seeing words come back that I'm a badass, that I'm and I'm like, oh my God, we're really going to say that? Yeah, I am. So there's these moments of the tactical being so it shoots us forward just as much as the sitting together and having class and, having the group experience. So there's the beautiful landing page and the copy and the individual attention to helping us set up the applications that are giving us the opportunity to gather registrations and to send reminders and to calendar with discovery sessions, and all of that information sharing is every single day. There's the support, and if I have a question, I ask a question, and within 24 hours, I've got an answer back. And it's just something that we marvel at the capability of the team to be able to provide that level of service over and over. The other thing I would speak to is the very different way that we are taking our bodies of work out into the world, and that is through our community, the Bold and Visible community. And we are cross-pollinating and sharing within our networks and doing it in a coordinated, cohesive ways. We have little launch parties for the workshops as they go live for the free work, and they're so much fun. It's like we all got a cup of coffee and we're there, and it's that too is community building. But it is I was noticing and commenting to Callie earlier that doing this solo would take an exponential amount of time and energy and effort for each one of us. But because we're doing it in concert with expert guidance, with someone who is so just from a professional level, just at the highest of heights, but there is this intuitive, beautiful connectedness within it that is modeling a new way of leading forward and creating forward in a very connected feminine energy that is, I can't get enough of it. Quite honestly, I'm just like a student for life. So
Well, Tracy, it's so great because we're really building a collaborate to compete, not to compete against each other, right? But a model to be out there in the world, taking our bodies of work out there. And so our vision is for a turnkey, some of the stresses that most spiritual and intellectual women have taking their risky thing out is all the stuff. And not only is our gift, I'm really gifted at seeing you, being able to put that in excellent copy, because that's one of my specialties. But to build it so you have you don't have to create the landing pages. You don't have to create all that stuff. We can do that with and for you. And also though, this way of, I love the launch parties that we have. And I just want to say, like, I am doing that and my colleagues think I'm insane. They do not promote to their own clients. They don't promote unless it's an affiliate, a different kind of a thing. And they don't do what we're doing. And, but we're building a new model. You're right. It's more feminine. It's more integrated. It's more fun. It is more fun.
It is fun.
It's more fun. And, my mission is to reach millions of people with freedom and the ability to see that they can free their life. And I can't do that on my own. I need you. I need Kim out there doing it. Right. And so then this is like fulfilling my mission. And it's so incredibly powerful. But as we're going forward and building the Institute for Feminine Somatic Integration and Wholeness, we'll be certifying people and creating a structure where women can pop in and have all that beautiful needs met, build their own unique body of work to get known for on the planet. But we're going to help them navigate that. And I love what you said. And I want to acknowledge Ethan as well, because the other day you said, that Ethan talked about walking you through what it takes to really stand forward and be a public figure and like have Tracy's impact, which is massive. Let's talk about your workshop, Tracy. It's heading towards your pilot program, right? So your 12-week pilot program that you're going to be launching and taking women step by step through. But tell us more about your workshop.
I'm so excited. It's this nervous excitement, but I'm really excited. I'm moving into a place of inviting women in who are C-suite, who are executives, who are leaders, who are at that place in their lives where they have reached maybe the top rung of the ladder, or who have done all of the things, run all of the boards and in all of the groups and have that deep network. And you've become that person in the community that everybody goes to, that they need something when they need something. And you're realizing that there's got to be more than this. What comes next? I'm in my 50s, I'm in my late 40s, I'm approaching 60. And what's that next phase? Because there's another 20, 30 years of your life beyond where you're at right now. And so I help those women really, really come to the place of connecting with their deep desires and what their biggest dreams are, and launching into building a legacy for themselves, for their families, for their being of service on this planet for the next phase of their life, and taking that leap, even if it feels scary or impossible to do it. I've done it. I've been there. I ripped off the Band-Aid and did all the things, and it's the most rewarding and the scariest thing to do. And I think doing it community and having women around you who are also dreaming the dreams and thinking about what they want for the next phase is the key, because then it builds confidence, as I referred to earlier. That level of confidence comes up to where you can really take a look at it, say, yes, I can. Yes, I will. Yes, I want that, and identify it and move into going forward. So the workshop moves through 5 critical shifts and takes women through that process into really shining in their own lives and launching their legacy.
Beautiful. And, I always, when you say that, and I always think about your story, Gigi and me. And, for me, taking the leap you took in your story, I encourage anyone to go to youtube.com/Callie B Elwayns. And if you're not already there, and you can watch Tracy's story entitled Gigi and Me. Tracy, we're going to be promoting your story, premiering it shortly, along with this video and our invite to your workshop, which will then lead to an invite to a pilot program. But your Gigi and Me story is really about taking leaps. It's about having fun. It's about getting out of that rigidness that we're in. As you know, I was a corporate CEO. That's my career. I'm a career
Right.
CEO. Very successful woman in the world, and the rigidity and just the not knowing where to start. If a woman wants to leave the corporate, how does she do that? And maybe she's not ready yet, but maybe she
Right.
just wants to explore and start to feel reconnected to what she desires. And that just, Gigi and Me is lights the fire.
Yeah. Yeah, it was quite an experience driven by the end of the pandemic. And I was living in Iowa. We had a dry land hurricane. It's basically called derecho, and it devastated the city. And I had been so connected to the environment, to the outdoors as a result of the pandemic. I was living alone, so that was my saving grace for all those months of isolation. And then that was gone, and I wanted so much more. And there was it was literally like everything was being torn down around me. And I took my career and my life and I packed everything up and left in a tiny VW camper van and waved goodbye. And I have not moved back to Iowa. It's been an amazing journey. I live almost in another country now. So
Alaska,
but
it really is.
yeah, it's Alaska. Yeah, it is. It really
It
is. It's
really
like being
is.
on an island. Right.
Exactly.
So
Beautiful, Tracy.
launching
Well,
into that.
love it. Love it so
Yeah.
much. There's so much energy and joy underneath that. And this is really, I mean, we've talked a lot in my body of work about getting visible. You know, it's time to get visible. It's my
Mhm.
body of work. It's time to own your voice. But the piece about we're so fragmented,
Yeah.
and our society is fragmented, our culture, our economy, our corporations are fragmented. We are fragmented in our communities and our families and ourselves. And the best thing I think to bring you back, you know, I work in the area of really the somatic wholeness, but is fun, is
Mhm.
play, is getting under there and being, and you know, the badass rebel you actually are, the corporate myth buster you are, and you have a huge mission. And it's my pleasure to help support you to not only really crystallize what that is and lift it, but to really take it out there in the world. Because Tracy,
Right.
I mean, as you say, the structures are falling. I say that the structures are falling. And so let's
Mhm.
proactively get out there.
Right. Let's get in front of it and have fun with it for
Yeah.
sure.
So Tracy, when is your workshop?
My workshop is March 28th at it'd be 9 a.m. Mountain. To translate time zones there. 9 a.m. Mountain, it's 2 hours. And I'd love to have all the seats filled and have an amazing body of women come together in order to share their experiences and see what happens.
We will include the link to Tracy's workshop, Unleash Your Legacy, right under this video in our YouTube channel. And you can just click on it and go over there and register. The workshop is free. It's free to have an experience because that's what we're cultivating through the work that we're doing at Bold and Visible is we're all sitting and experiencing rather than strategy.
Right,
And it's so
right.
refreshing, right? So refreshing.
It's
Amazing. What would you say, Tracy, to the women who are in our program or thinking of coming through Bold and Visible's work in the 12-week program, or they're in our VIP? What would you say to them about taking this whole journey?
mm, it's the best thing I did in my life. It changed my life. And I'm not saying that facetiously. It truly, truly has and did. It is a model for a different way of connecting and learning and growing and launching that I have not. I've done all the things. I have not seen it anywhere. So the body of work that Callie curates and that her team, Ethan and Kirsten, Roxanne, hold up for this group of women, this community of women is unique and priceless. And I would say, do it. Don't even think about it. Just do it. If if you think about it, your brain's going to get in the way.
Yeah, we
Just say
don't.
yes.
Beautiful. Awesome. And we'll see you all at Tracy's workshop on March 28th. We will be there with bells on, and we can't wait to be in the energy.
Thank you, Callie. I'm really excited to launch.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Tracy. Love you. Love you.
Bye.